has changed since we last saw each other. I quit my job, I got another cat, my friend got back from Canada, and also it's a whole new year. Where have you been, Lucas? I wasn't sure of what to make my first video of the year. I know I want to talk more about games, like full videos on one game, like my Valhalla one, which is kind of one of my favorite videos I've ever made, so like, if you want to watch it. Anyways, let's talk about movies, shall we? I watched 78 movies last year. Not bad, but not a lot by my standards. 17 of those movies actually came out in 2025, and I have sifted through all the filth and came up with my top 3 favorites. But also, as a movie buff, I will be watching movies in 2026. I made a risky move for this video and did something I actually kind of hate. I watched some trailers. I usually don't go after trailers. I only watch them when I'm not late to the cinema and arrive before the movie actually begins. And for you, I watched a few trailers and I got excited for some movies coming out this year. I've chosen 3 of them to be most excited about and, to talk about. Now, I haven't watched Sinners or Weapons for that matter, but I am planning on watching it this week. So maybe in my next video, whatever it's about, I'll tell you what I thought about it. Superman embarks on his personal quest to understand his Kryptonian heritage and how to merge it with his human upbringing as Clark Kent. However, things complicate when ruthless industrialist billionaire Lex Luthor frames Superman for an international incident, making him out to be the bad guy and himself, Luthor, the real hero. With help from Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, and the Justice Gang, Superman must save the world. I'm still not the biggest Superman fan, even though this was a very good movie. I just find him to be a little too OP.
Really, the only thing that can kill him is a rock from outer space. Okay.
I wasn't gonna watch it. There's a new Superman movie every few years anyway, but people were talking so much about it, and Lex is played by Nicholas Hoult, Lois by Rachel Brosnahan. It's directed by James Gunn. Did you see the TikToks and Reels they were posting? Am I getting excited for superhero movies once again? But yeah, I don't know much about his universe. I know about his dog, or I guess his cousin's dog, Crypto, because of the 2005 cartoon my sister was so in love with. I knew about the existence of Supergirl because of the 2015 CW series, where Supergirl is played by Melissa Benoist, I don't know what's her name, who played Marley in Glee. But you see, that was exactly the reason why I didn't watch Supergirl, because Marley was from season 4 of Glee. And Glee was good until about season 3. I don't know if every Superman iteration feels this woke. I actually have no idea. Again, Crypto was all about the bond between boy and smart alien dog, and not the intricacies of being an immigrant in Lex Luthor's America. CW's Supergirl was about the lesbian tension between Marley Rose and Morgana from Merlin, right? I mean, I just know it wasn't about the Israel-Palestine conflict. I know James Gunn has said before that he wrote the script for the genocide thing, but, if the shoe fits, I think it would have been very nice if the movie were in fact inspired by true events. And maybe it was, but I guess you just can't say it. I'm not the best person to talk about it. I'm not that well read on the subject, so don't attack me, please. The movie is very comic book-like, and it showed me a side of Superman I, as a non-super fan, didn't know of. His kindness. I feel like his latest versions have all been angry and greedy, and honestly, this kind Superman is a nice variation. Which I've come to find out was actually kind of the norm, since he was being compared to Christopher Reeve's Superman, which I've heard is pretty much like the ultimate Superman. Also, I would like to talk about my girlfriend for what I believe it's the first time this year, but she's the Lewis to my Clark, because she is punk rock, and maybe kindness is the real punk rock is a very me sentence. Anyway, next movie. Eddie Katz is a beekeeper and former factory/warehouse employee at a pharmaceutical megacorp called Oxalith. He believes the chemicals being produced by the megacorporation are responsible for colony collapse disorder. A mysterious phenomenon where most worker bees vanish from their hive, leaving behind the queen, the food, and the young, however, with no dead bees present, which is decimating his beehives. But he also holds a personal grudge because years earlier his mother was part of an experimental drug trial run by Axelith that left her in a permanent vegetative state. Eddie is engulfed by paranoia and is fully convinced Michelle Fuller, the CEO of the pharmaceutical company, is an Andromedan, an alien race infiltrating powerful positions to manipulate and destroy humanity. Teddy, along with his cousin, kidnap her to prove once and for all she is an alien and to expose her plans of world damnation. According to Aliens.fandom, Andromedans were one of the 3 founders of the Galactic Federation of United Planets. They also form a local federation known as the Council of Andromeda. They are interested in creating a better future for humanity. And fun fact, although the forearms and hair being inaccurate, the Hindu god Shiva was in fact an Andromedan. I kind of got lost in a bit of an Andromedan deep dive and have come to the conclusion that Emma Stone is maybe not an Andromedan, but in fact a Pleiadian. I didn't expect to like this movie so much. I didn't care for Kinds of Kindness, and I had mixed feelings about Poor Things, but Bugonia? It was like right up my alley. With conspiracy theories, a woman in position of power, mention of bees, aliens. It felt like a bit of a slow burn at first, but then things started happening really fast and I was enjoying it quite a bit. Bugonia, the word, is a myth and ritual in the ancient Mediterranean where it was believed bees would spontaneously appear from the carcass of a sacrificed ox, symbolizing death and renewal, just like the movie. Extra question I probably won't remember to ask at the end of the video, but what is a conspiracy theory you believe in? Or keeping up with the alien theme, I guess, what conspiracy theory you want to believe? Mine is that Walt Disney is in fact frozen, and adding to that theory, the movie Frozen was created so when people search about, Walt Disney's Frozen, they would find things about the movie and not actual Walt Disney being frozen. I don't know. Next movie. When they aren't selling out stadiums, the Huntrix, a K-pop group consisting of Rumi, Mira, and Zoe, use their secret identities as demon hunters to protect the world and keep the honeymoon intact. But once they are close enough to achieving the golden honeymoon, a barrier that will sever for good the connection between the demon and the human worlds, they must face their biggest enemy yet, the Saja Boys, a rival boy band of demons in disguise. However, that is not their only challenge, as Rumi, the leader of the group, has a secret. She's part demon from her father's side, and it looks like this side is taking over her. Everyone and their mother has watched K-pop Demon Hunters. I know my mother has. Making it top 3 most watched for 17 consecutive weeks, which is amazing considering it's both a musical and an animation. When the trailer first came out, I saw it on Threads and knew I just had to watch it. I'm a big fan of animations, I like the art style, and the story seems super interesting. I thought the trailer was funny and I told my girlfriend we had to watch it, and watch it we did. We watched it dubbed in Brazilian Portuguese, and later I rewatched it in English with my mother. But the Brazilian version just hits different. I don't know if the songs are like dubbed in every language, but again, the Brazilian version just hits better. I was of course one of their many monthly listeners. And sure, Soda Pop or Meu Pequeno Guaraná is catchy, but... Ela até acordou a menina. Maybe it's because I'm gay, but I wasn't that into the Saja Boys. My bisexual girlfriend was into Gino, I think. But I was just thinking, Zoe's cute and you have Mira's style and resting bitch face. Also, you would rock Rumi's hairstyle? No, I'm just thinking about her. Give me a second. Look at her, she's perfect. I love the love K-pop Demon Hunters received. I didn't expect it. I didn't think anyone expected it, to be honest, but the creators followed some guidelines without even knowing, probably, to make it a success. K-pop and South Korean culture have been gaining a lot of popularity over the last 10 years, actually probably more worldwide. So a movie about K-pop just makes a lot of sense. Making it an animation, I know CGI and AR are here to stay, but if you want to make it magical, make it an animation. If it's so much better with the demon hunting theme and the music, plus it looks amazing. Sure, the core theme is self-acceptance, but it was told in a different way. We all face our demons, but what if your job is literally to kill demons and you are one of them? Weird real K-pop groups with the movie's strong lore and deep engagements, and finally, it was just unique.
Just like you, unique baby, a gorgeous baby. Look at the baby. She's a little baby. She's just a baby. Look at the baby girl. Oh, baby.
Jackman plays a shepherd who reads detective novels to his sheep every night. But he does know how silly that is and that they are just sheep after all. So they can't possibly understand what he's talking about. But one fateful night, George, Hugh Jackman, is found dead. Murdered even. And the sheep must solve the mystery of who done it. Follow clues, investigate suspects, human suspects, and prove once and for all that sheep can be brilliant detectives too. I adore a good detective movie, Benoit Blanc, anyone? But most importantly, I like a silly goofy movie. No one expects a sheep detective movie to be serious, to be Oscar bait. And you know what? Movies don't need to exist just to win an Academy Award. I was going to say it's fun to see Hugh Jackman play like a character that isn't just suffering for once, but he does get killed, so. The cast is fully stacked. I don't actually know if that's a sentence or a saying, but I think it makes sense. I think I've heard it before. Like I've said before, we have Hugh Jackman, but we also have Bella Ramsey, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Sir Patrick Stewart, Emma Thompson, and many more. And if you're one of those like bookish people, it is based on a book, Three Bags Full by Leonie Swan. Linda Little, played by Rachel McAdams, is mistreated by her sexist younger boss Bradley. But the situation changes when a plane crash strands them on a deserted island in a desperate fight for survival. Now the employee becomes the employer. She's the boss now, Bradley, and help isn't on its way. At least according to Linda, who seems to have gotten a bit manic. I like Rachel McAdams. I like Dylan O'Brien. I like a good stranded horror movie / story. It's giving Yellow Jackets and Lost, and that one Rabbitoon I read, and that one Amanda Bynes movie, except maybe it's not a group of people. It's not happening on North Korean territory. And it's not a fake romance between a normal girl and her celebrity crush who got fake stuck on an abandoned island that was in fact just the outside of a resort. It's also by Sam Raimi. And I mean, he does good horror movies. Also, Spider-Man. Grace, the sole survivor of a deadly hide-and-seek game that resulted in the deaths of her husband and in-laws, learns that her victory comes at a price. Now, the wealthiest and most influential families on Earth have to kill her in a new game, or risk losing their power and fortunes. Grace refuses to participate at first, but is left with no choice when she learns that her younger sister, Faith, has also been marked for death and must protect her at all costs. I wasn't sure I wanted a sequel. Actually, I didn't. I'm still not sure if I want it. Ready or Not is like one of my favorite movies, if not my favorite movie, and a sequel could be the worst thing to ever happen to it. But you see, I like a lot of the cast in the second one. You absolutely cannot go wrong with Elijah Wood. Who am I gonna say? I haven't seen him wear a wig in a long time.
Do you wear wigs?
No, I do not.
Have you worn wigs?
No, I have not.
Will you wear wigs?
Maybe.
When will you wear wigs?
Plus Sarah Michelle Gellar. And yeah, they seem to be on like the wrong side of history. And by history, I mean the story in the movie. But it's them. It's Elijah Wood and Sarah Michelle Gellar. Also, it's interesting to see someone on Grace's side. I'm guessing her mom was religious because, Grace and faith. I gotta rewatch it again. But, I actually kind of forgot. I thought she was adopted. Anyways, what I ask is that please there not be a third movie. And those are my top 3 of 2025 and my most awaited movies of 2026. I actually went through some lists of movies that are coming out this year because again, I don't watch trailers and picked the ones that seemed the most interesting or were a sequel. I also would like to add Mickey 17 and Final Destination Bloodlines as honorable mentions from last year, and Spider-Man Brand New Day as an honorable mention for this year. Because again, I am excited once more for superhero movies. I was a huge Avengers head, but I'm not excited for the next Avengers because we're very pro Lily Allen in this household. If you're excited for movies this year or watched any movies last year, like this video. Subscribe if you want to hear me talking about more movies or TV or games, and tell me in the comments below your favorite movies from last year. What movies are you excited to watch this year? And what was the worst movie you watched last year? Mine would have to be Fear Street Prom Queen. Bye!